It was revealed today that 20th Century Fox, the studio behind the new Fantastic Four reboot, has put up an embargo on reviews for the film. So critics have seen it. They held screenings for critics, but they are prohibited from publishing their reviews until a certain amount of time before the movie is released. I believe it's for online reviews. They can be published a day before the film's release, and for print media, it's the day of release. So the movie is being released on Friday, the 30th of July. So normally you'd probably be able to read and see reviews right now, but because of this embargo, you can't. So tough luck. Not a good sign. I should let you know right now, this is not a review of Fantastic Four. I'm not a critic. I'm not a professional critic in any sense, so I haven't been to any screenings or anything like that. Very amateur, I guess. I like going on YouTube talking about movies and stuff like that, but I put down my money like anybody else and talk about it like anybody else would. So not a member of the media in any way, shape, or form. But I am at an advantage that surely you are at too. That as a human being, I do have the gift of foresight, and I have the gift of an analytical mind that can look at advertisements and determine if the product is something that I would enjoy. So, of course, sadly, I mean, we like to think of movies as art, but a lot of times they certainly are a product, and a lot of times they leave you about as satisfied as, a Happy Meal washed down with a Coke, which, in some ways, these big blockbusters, these summer blockbusters can be, but sometimes you want a good burger. So, I don't know. Sometimes you want a good, entertaining movie. But to have this embargo, it's almost as bad as it not being screened for critics at all. They don't want, headlines in online newspapers saying, Fantastic Four is less than fantastic, because, those critics are so clever with their little phrases. But, not having seen the movie, having seen the trailer, having read some of the tidbits of the movie, heard the controversies, here's what I can surely tell you. I can surely tell you that this movie likely struggles to find its tone, trying to be sort of gritty and realistic, but at the same time knowing that it has to deal with these fantastical elements of superpowers and things like that, and struggling to find its correct tone, which I don't think it's going to be able to do. I think they're going to be put in a really awkward place, very similar to The Amazing Spider-Man, where they tried to essentially have their cake and eat it too by making it a little bit more realistic, but realizing you have a kid who has the powers of a spider. That's not going to fly. I can tell you that I'm sure the cast does fine work. We have Michael B. Jordan. We have Kate Mara. We have the kid from Whiplash in the movie. I'm sure they do fine work, but have little to work with. And they do their best, but it's lost in a script that isn't all that focused. I can tell you that it probably drags on too long with the origin stuff that we've all seen before, that we all know, and has very little room for anything too original in the movie. I can tell you that I'm sure it'll have a few laughs here and there. I can tell you that it'll surely have a few decent action scenes, but probably less than you'd expect. Based on the trailer, you don't really see that much, do you? And these days, if you compare it to other trailers, these previews really like to give away everything. So unless this happens to be a spectacular movie with these amazing action scenes that they just don't want to show you, I think that bodes a very negative outcome, I would say. I can tell you that it probably has underwhelming villain. Suspiciously, we haven't seen too much of this Doctor Doom character. As you may recall, it was reported, and I'm not sure if this will end up in the final movie, but the character has been turned into an angry, embittered internet blogger who develops the powers of Doctor Doom. So if that ends up being the case, then that's probably going to be very cheesy and perhaps out of place. I can tell you that it likely sets up a sequel, and I can tell you that following suit from other Marvel movies, and probably trying to make audiences believe that it's the same studio, we'll have a few Easter eggs here and there, a few references here and there. I can tell you that for the most part, the movie will likely be boring and underwhelming, with not much of a sense of its place to go, where we just spend too much time on doing this origin story and not really having an interesting plot, and the same old kind of good guys versus bad guys ending that's very cliched and predictable. And this movie, if you do decide to put down your hard-earned cash, your $10, $15, $20 on this movie, you're probably going to walk out of it maybe satisfied, maybe, but you're probably going to be thinking to yourself, if you are a connoisseur of these movies, if you love the comic book movies, if you try to follow them, you'll probably be thinking to yourself, man, I wish Marvel had the rights. I wish Marvel Studios would get the Fantastic Four back. Then things would be good. Marvel knows how to do it. 20th Century Fox, I'm not so sure. That's probably what you'll be thinking. But this is not a review. I made my mind on the movie. I'm not going to spend my money. I'm not going to watch this movie. I know exactly what this movie is going to be. I've analyzed the advertisement of this product, and I've decided this product's not for me. So do you really need a critic to do the thinking for you? They're embargoed right now. They're sitting on their hands right now, but something tells me they have some less than positive things to say about it. So that's just some food for thought. Don't act surprised. If you see a trailer for a movie doesn't look good, we have this habit of kind of trying to convince ourselves, well, maybe it is good. Maybe the special effects aren't complete. Maybe they're really hiding something from us and really want to blow us away. Usually that's not the case. But what do I know? This is not a review, but thank you for watching anyway. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. That'd be cool. Comment, rate, subscribe. All that good stuff. Visit Derek237.com. That'd be cool. And until next time, I'll see you later.